Hello and welcome to Pittsburgh Sports 365, official YouTube podcast affiliated with the Pittsburgh Sports 365 Facebook group. I'm going to give a shout out to all my members over there, all my admins, all my moderators, all my peoples. I got to keep remembering this is backwards. Hope everybody had a wonderful new year, a wonderful holiday season. I'm glad that's over with. Get to see some people you don't normally see. Get to get some gifts. Get to spend some time around the house with the family, hopefully. Oh, that was a good weekend last weekend. Good sports weekend. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, whatever. Brewers went out to Seattle and made a statement. 2 wins in a row. 2 wins in a row. Rudolph has put up with his crew, because it's a team effort. They put up that 30 burger. 2 of them. Wow, man. He got that locker room locked down. If you go look at their socials, go look at the social media on I think it was the Steelers. It could have been Rudolph. One of the guys, there's a whole bunch of comments where you could tell that Rudolph has that locker room. I don't know what they're going to do next year. I don't know what the problem is. I just don't know. There's no pouting. There's nobody throwing tantrums. Everybody just seems to be where they need to be. They're doing their job. Man, as long as it's working out like that, I'm happy. Again, I want to thank you for joining us here on Pittsburgh Sports 365 on YouTube. Take a second there to like and subscribe. This is episode number 11. We haven't been doing this very long. There ain't very many people watching, but hopefully we'll get some more around, gain some interest. Rome wasn't built in a day. Very, 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 very good weekend for sports. Very good. I'm happy. The Penguins won. They're on a winning streak finally again. It looks to me like they're climbing this Metro division. They play Washington tonight. I think it's 7. They need that win, too. That's an interdivisional win. They've been on a run. See them do it again. I read somewhere where Sullivan wasn't going to change the game plan, even though the Caps are struggling, which, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it type deal. That's right. That Penguins game, 6-1, looks pretty good. The Pens only have 4 penalties. The Islanders had 7. The Pens only sat in the box for 11 minutes. The Islanders sat for 25. Neither team got a power play goal. Neither team got a shorthanded goal, but that's okay. The Penguins took 37 shots. The Islanders took 35. Wow, that's a pretty good game. You had a record. Crystal Tang had a record day, a record night. He got 5 points in one period. That's ridiculous for a defenseman. Anyway, it's ridiculous. That's crazy. That means he was all over it. He was feeding them. He was feeding them. He was trying to set him up to knock him down. That's pretty good. I like that. The Pens had 7 giveaways and 11 takeaways, and they won 39 faceoffs. The Islanders won 25. That's the official game stats on that. I think it was a pretty good game. I watched the highlights. I really don't have time to watch a whole Pens game in the evening. Pretty good. I like the highlights. Man, I tell you what, man, that's like unbelievable. They seem to have found their mesh and their mojo, and that's a good thing. It is. Regardless if it's hockey, baseball, football, rugby, or even a team of guys that throw marbles at each other. If you're a team, everybody's got to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. If you got one gentleman that ain't doing his job, it just throws a ripple through the whole thing. Najee Harris had a big game. Jalen Warren had a big game. George Pickens had a big game. His stats this year are ridiculous. He don't have many catches, but he's got like 1,400 yards. I think he did that in only like 60 some catches. Good, man. That's insane. Imagine if he went off like that every game, all game long. They'd be putting up 50 or 60 points, man. That's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Maybe next year they'll have a quarterback situation figured out. The quarterback that does start. Yeah, I'm all about Kenny Pickett. It ain't over until it's over. He was starting to improve, but I think what it is Mason Rudolph came in and sat through Ben Roethlisberger for how many years? And if you go back and you watch the film for this Seattle game and that Cincinnati game, if you go back and you watch the film for that, pay close attention to Rudolph's pocket presence, his ability to stand in there till the very last second and let something develop, and look at his footwork. Now, he did move around a little bit when he had to. He only had 8 rushing yards, but I mean, I don't care. I think they all came on like 2 plays. You got a first down on one. But I mean, go back and look at it. Just color the number in on the jersey. Don't put no number on him. Just watch his mechanics. It's almost like he went back to when the Steelers were successful and started watching Roethlisberger film. I'm telling you, he had the touch. He put that ball right where it needed to be. How many times? Balls of steel, man. First down, you're going to go down there. I thought they were going to run a clock. What's he do? Throws a 10-yard in route right there to Pickens for the first down. That's pretty good. I seen him he handed it to the running back. I almost had a heart attack. They got to cut that out. But I mean, it was pretty good. 30 points, 2 games in a row. And he didn't have any interceptions. I mean, he didn't have no touchdowns this game, but that's not what it's all about. He knows that. Mason Rudolph, 18 of 24 for 274 in Seattle. Oh, man, that's pretty good. I mean, compared to what we've had, I mean, it's not a 3, 4, and 500-yard game, but guess what? It's not 3, 4, 5 interceptions either. Sometimes Ben would have 520 yards and have 4 picks. And I don't know what Mason did. He did his job. His job was to come in, sit there and learn. He has all this stuff at his disposal. He got film of all the great players, licensed film from all camera angles. He can get any film he wants. He's got all the equipment to work out on, and he's got all the materials to educate himself, and that's what he did. That's my opinion, because if you go back and watch his film from 2019, and then you watch his film, it's a completely different style of play. It really is. I mean, there was one play where I think it's when he threw at the Freiermuth. If you watch, and I don't know, Kenny had fallen off from this Pickett. Mason stands there, and he'll go through his progressions right in the pocket. Like at one point, he had 2 receivers getting shoved right down his there. He had 2 offensive blocker linemen. He had them getting shoved right into his face. When he let go of that ball, they were touching him, and he completed that pass because he waited for, I think it was the 3rd option in his progression. I was impressed. Rudolph was pretty accurate in college. Go back and watch. He had James Washington. He used to drop dimes. Washington was a decent receiver in Pittsburgh, but he's not George Pickens. George Pickens laid out for that one on that slant route. Man, that was one hell of a catch. I'm happy. Happy weekend. After all them loot, air for a while it was miserable. The Penguins were on a skid. The Steelers were on a skid. Now the Steelers are barely hanging on to a playoff hope and a dream. Right now, with that win, they got a 28% chance of making the playoffs. If they beat Baltimore, which I don't see Harbaugh running his starters, just to be a smartass, he might come out and have Jackson put a touchdown on the board, or at least try. But if they win in Baltimore, it goes from a 28% chance to a 72% chance. They need to win, plus they need either the Bills to lose or the Jaguars to lose or tie. And if they don't win, or the Bills don't lose, if they don't win and the Bills don't lose or the Jags don't lose, then there's a whole mess of scenarios where it's a wing and a prayer. But right now, if they win, They control 76% of their, or 72% of their destiny. So they need to go into Baltimore, period. Rudolph needs to go in there and show Tomlin why he made the right choice by sticking with the third-string quarterback. They're like giving him a chance, he's giving him a chance. But remember, in 2019, he'd have 2 good games, and then all hell would break loose. So I'm hoping this is different because Rudolph looks completely different, 100% different. Like I said, his mechanics are ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I mean, he spread the ball around again. Pickens had 7 receptions for 131 yards. That's ridiculous. 131 yards and only 7 catches. That's 18 point something per catch. Oh, wow. That's crazy. And if you look at the percentages on the receivers, like a lot of receivers, they'll get like 5, they'll have like 6 yards per average per catch and maybe 10. But if you go back and look at that game, it's 18.9 or something for Pickens, 18.7. Deontay Johnson have only 4 receptions, but they're 76 yards. That's an average of almost 20 yards, 19 yards per catch. That means since Rudolph took over, when he goes for them receivers, they changed that game plan like I said they should. They started running the ball, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam. Najee is just face planting people. Angry run scepter from GMF. I think Good Morning Football put him at number 5 again. Najee Harris with the angry runs. So, and Warren Home, man, these guys are just punishing people, man. At one point, Najee Harris was running with the entire defensive line and a linebacker on his back. That is ridiculous. Woo! Najee Harris had 27 carries for 122 yards and 2 tutties. They worked the running backs. That's crazy, man. Jaylen Warren had 13 carries for 75 yards and a tutty. That's pretty good. 468 yards of total offense for the Steelers in that game. 266 pass, 202 rushing yards. That's insane. That's good. 25 first downs. That's pretty good. They ran 71 plays for 37 minutes and 33 seconds time of possession. They went in there. They controlled the trenches. They controlled they controlled the line. And, they did what they needed to do. They controlled the clock. They controlled the game. And if Najee wouldn't have had a mercy slide and let up on them, they would have lost by 14. That would have been like, what? Yeah, he could have scored. I think he slid just to make sure the clock kept running. And he didn't want to score a touchdown and leave anything there. Because if he went in, I wouldn't, I said it was a mercy slide, but in my mind, he wanted to make sure the Steelers had one more down. Once he got to where he wanted to make sure they had one, he didn't want to run in there and risk anything. Which you never know. He's smart. He just slid. I think that's what he was thinking. He just didn't want to score right now and leave anything on the clock. Because he knew they could take a knee right there and just kill the rest of the game. He was done smashing people. Wow. The Penguins have been pretty dominant on face-offs. Yeah, that's crazy. They're bullies at the ring, at the face-off spot. Sid Crosby, Gensel, they're all playing good. Malkin, they're all playing good. They're out there skating. They're out there working. They're doing their thing. I seen the highlights. It's crazy. The goalie lost his mask and his stick and was still going after the shooter. Oh, yeah, left basically was a jersey and knee pads, and he's still going after the puck. I don't know. Some guys that are just tucked, they don't want to hit in the face with that. That's crazy. I do appreciate everybody stopping over to see us. I really do. The Penguins need to. They need to beat the Caps. And the Steelers need to beat the Ravens. so far this year, 2024, the Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates are undefeated. Let's make that mark and start with a rally. Take a second to like and subscribe. Hit your little bell down there under the video. That way you know when our new videos are coming to you, coming down. My first couple episodes were like 35 to 40 minutes long, and I realized that people just don't have that much time. So, I got a new camera here. I need everybody to give me some feedback on that. Let me know what the video looks like. I can make some adjustments in the PC. I went from recording on my phone and just a monocaster to recording with a 1080p 4K vlogger's camera with this microphone and an extended microphone, so it's like got a second way to pick up any sound. And the wifey got me a nice PC for Christmas. I mean, I really like this laptop. It's very good, and it makes all this a lot easier because then it edits and everything else fast. When I'm recording, I got to be at my little studio here, but after that, I can go plug up into an Ethernet cable and fire this stuff at you. So, if the video looks okay and the audio looks okay, let me know just so I know. I appreciate everybody. I know I don't have many subscribers, and I'm probably not as exciting and as flashy as these other guys. But mark this video, episode 11. My videos are going to start getting better because now I have the equipment to do so. I mean, I just wanted to talk to you guys. That's why I did it with my dumb phone and the Moana caster. That thing is nice. That Moana caster and that light podcaster is just wonderful, man. It is. You guys have a good evening, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Same time, same place. Pittsburgh Sports 365 on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all them mother. You guys have a good evening. Thank you. We love you guys.